Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Thank you, Jim.
Larry, you just put out a news release earlier in the week. What was in it?
Well, we talked about finally getting started on some cathode material that was been sent to us by actually 3 or 4 different companies, 2 of which were Pure One battery manufacturers, and we've started work on them. I'm hoping that maybe next week we'll have some news, and we can go on from there. But this is a big feather in our cap, and that takes me on to other things. Once these people who receive this news, we won't be doing free testing for everybody anymore. They'll have to pay for it, and in most cases we'll insist that that we allow to use the name of the company that we're testing for, and because that's a big thing for a small company, and we can't afford to pack the loads of doing testing for any of their feasibility work. So everybody else charges, and I don't think there's any shame in getting us to test their material, so why not allow us to use their names? That said and done, there's a lot of stuff happening in the recycling field. You'll see that more and more companies are talking about recycling, and but I think there's specifically a couple of areas, one that I really want to touch on, and that's 2 recent announcements of 2 companies that are going to be joining forces to recycle batteries. And so let's talk about one. One was out of South Korea. We'll have that attached, and they're talking about like it's just an everyday thing that you can recycle batteries. The others from the chemical engineer, and it's Aramet, BASF, and SUEZ have partnered. This one catches my attention because I know that when Hatch was doing work for Aramet on their Gabon project, they used to be in touch with us on our manganese project in Arizona at the same time, and we were, giving them some information that obviously, I think at that time we had our patents for that, so they could see what was in them. And but Aramet is a heavy in the manganese business, heavy in the metallurgical side of it and everything else. So I think this company probably has a opportunity to develop a process. But what I want to point out is that our process was many years in the making, 80 years with the U.S. Bureau of Mines, and then several years with testing the manganese, and now 3.5 years with our cathode materials. So it's not like we just came out overnight and said we're going to recycle batteries. It was we had a foundation to build from, and I think with the patents we have, we're well protected, and we've got the best process out there. And for the tens of millions of batteries in the next decade that will, lots of them reaching the end of life, we will be kept as busy as possible. Doesn't mean that somebody else can't enter the business, but what I've been trying to point out to our listeners is, 1, we do have patents. We have 2 patents, and we have a 3rd patent pending, and nobody legally can do the same process that we're doing. So I'm very comfortable, even though I know that the competition could be getting more sophisticated, that we have the thing nailed down, and that goes back to how we handled it. When we knew that we could, or when we thought that we could, or Cametco actually is one that thought they could recycle the battery. the cathode materials in the existing lithium-ion battery field with nickel, manganese, cobalt, and aluminum. And we knew that we had to plow ahead fast. And I think I mentioned this in a previous email. Other people had the same idea at the same time. And we've managed to nail that process down tight. And, our patents went through rapidly for going through the patent office in the U.S., and that's because we had no competition other than our own process for manganese. So I'm happy to say that, and I think the shareholders should be happy that the company was prudent enough to focus on that area. Now we've got battery materials from some Tier 1 battery manufacturers, and for example, I'll give you two examples. One is material that was pre-shredded and sent to us, and so that will take a little more time to do because there's a lot of impurities in that. And the other was some of their rejects or some of their pre-use scrap materials. So we're going to proceed on those basis, and I think this may be something of the future where companies would like to shred their own batteries and send them off to be treated. And there's not going to be a lot of places where you can do that and get the returns that we get. Now, we've had high returns, initially on the bench scale, 100%. And I think that we'll achieve close to those returns as we move through the process with our demonstration 3-ton-a-day plant. We can tighten up areas and streamline other areas, mostly tweaks and turns here and there that will improve recoveries, and we get the high purity. So you can't wipe the smile off my face right now. The market's reacting well to the release, and I see that there's a lot of speculation going on who this is for. But I'd be very surprised if a battery company doesn't, nail down a partnership. First off, why wouldn't you? You can, you build an electric car to save the environment, but you got to dispose of the batteries in a manner that also saves the environment, and we have that. We have the keys to that, and it looks like it's extremely lucrative. So why wouldn't you just add this to your battery manufacturing and nail down a deal with us? And so I think that's coming. People are going to see that there is a real big bright rainbow at the end of the road, and we are going to be there to capitalize on that. So I've attached a couple of releases from some various parts of the world on some of these things, including certainly for the two competitors in the recycling field. And but again, the market's telling me that they like what we're doing, and we're trading at better prices than we were a week ago. And I think once results start coming out, that's just going to compound on that. So I wish everybody a great weekend, and I know I'm going to have a relaxing weekend. So I'll turn it back to you, Jim.
Larry, for people new to American Manganese, what are you all about?
American Manganese is a critical metal mining company that is involved in not just mining but technologies. We developed a technology for treating low grades of manganese.
Larry, before we go, we're going to be talking with your Norman Chow. Norm, just explain to people what you do there and what kind of an update you have for us.
Well, basically, I just walked into Larry's office here, but yes, we're running the basically material that was sent from other companies using the technology that we developed, and everything is working exactly the same as what we had tested previously, so that's looking very positive. So these are quite large companies we received materials from. I think that's pretty much the only update I can really give you right now. I'm going to hand the phone back to Larry here.
Thanks, Norm. I'm sorry to interrupt this, Jim. But in answer to your last question, we're a critical metals company that's involved in mining and technology and now urban mining. And our technology has been, which is patented, has been moved over to in creating patents in the lithium-ion battery recycling area. And we've had great success in that. And we're traded on the Toronto Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF. And we're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. You can go to our website at AmericanManganeseInc.com, or you can email me at lreaugh, R-E-A-U-G-H, at amymn.com, or give us a phone call here at 778-574-4444.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on October 4th.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.